Hi you guys, it's Amy Gretchen. Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be doing a walkthrough of my 2016 album. So I was just kind of flipping through it to cover up some of the things that I didn't want you guys to see. And I realized this is pretty simple, and a lot of the stuff that I would say I've already shared in other process videos, but I know it's a lot of fun to be able to see an entire year. So I thought that I would do it for you, and I know that some of you have asked for it. Just right off the bat, I wanted to let you know that this is a Becky Higgins album, and I was able to fit this entire year into 2 albums. Most of the other years are the same. I think 2013 I was able to do in 1, but the others have been 2, just because there's more inserts and more stuff that I included. So let's just dive in and get started. So this is my title page. I did something very similar that I did with 2017. I probably showed you this in that video. Have pictures of us and the date. This was a Becky Higgins Design F that I just cut off this edge. I decided to put tape on the top here because this was a little heavy and I felt like it kept trying to slip out of that pocket. So that's why I added that tape there. A lot of the products that you will be seeing are from Studio Calico and also some Ali Edwards stuff. Those are, and there are some Becky Higgins from some of her kits, but that's mostly where I'm pulling from. So it's kind of the same stuff that you've seen in the majority of my videos. So one thing that I don't do a lot of blowing up of photos because and splitting them up, because I feel like I have so many photos. If I do that, I'll usually do an insert, but when I don't have enough, I definitely do this. So that was, I'm glad that I did that. It's a photo that I really like, and it's reminding me that I should need to do that a little bit more. I also have these dividers. I don't think I did this the entire year, although I could. I know that I have some left over. But we'll see when I get to album number 2. So something else I really love to include is the schedule. This is just a screenshot of our schedule right from my iPad. And of course I like to include just everyday stuff. This is a grocery list that my daughter made. I love it for 2 reasons. I like seeing what she put on the list and said was important, and I like getting her her dinner ideas, and then of course I like seeing her handwriting there. I noticed that I'm doing a lot more of journaling right onto my photos. That's something I've been thinking a lot about, whether to do it or not to do it. So it's just interesting to see what I did in the past. One other thing that I wanted to point out as well, like I started doing this, let's see, these stamps, this week 3 came from Kelly Perky, and I started to put these on the photo. I'm stamping them. In fact, I think if I go here, you can see that I'm doing it here as well. So I'm stamping them right on the photo opposed to doing it ahead of time like in Photoshop or something like that. I plan to do this the whole year just to make it unified, but I don't end up doing it the whole year, and that's totally fine with me. I like it here, and I'm fine with not, having completed that. So that's something to think about. Even though you've done something the whole time, it doesn't mean you have to continue to do it. So as you've seen, if you've watched any of my other videos about my 12 of 12 project, this is an ongoing project that I do. And I just end up putting all of my photos into a collage. If you want to get more information, you can check out amygretchen.com/12 of 12 project, and you can get more information about that. But what I loved about this was my daughter Tess decided to do it for herself, and she played along. So these are the photos that she took during her day, and I love that she did that. I want her to do it again. I don't think she did it. Maybe she did it one other time, but I hope she continues to do it. Something else that I did this week is, this is a note that was just sent in the mail by one of my friends. And it was something that I wanted to remember. So I just actually wrote that, a thoughtful note, and stuck it right on in the card so that I would have that and remember that. So like I said, this is a really simple week. You can see that I just have some stories being told right onto the photos. There's some stickers here. some phrase stickers, but that's it. I think I have 2 phrase stickers and there's no other embellishments. And you know what? That's totally fine with me. Like, I absolutely love this spread. It tells a story. It highlights our life. I don't think it needs to be any more complicated than this. So just something to think about. Same with this, although I did do a little bit more with some of the stickers. All right, week 6, I like to include texts from time to time. Other things that I thought was really fun to include, especially in this one, there's a note from my kids' friends. This was the customs declaration. I sent a package to my parents. They were in Guam, so I just thought that that was a fun way to tell the story. And then this is something my daughter filled out about, you know, stuff that she loves, favorite foods, animals, stuff like that. So those are some stories that you can definitely tell. Moving on, this is week, I don't know which week this is, but this is Valentine's. So I don't always include like art and stuff like this, but I know that Allie did that one year a lot. Other people have done it before, but it is a great way to include, you know, bits and pieces. Doesn't necessarily have to be from children. It could be your own art, but I think that that's a great way to kind of highlight that as well. I want to show you one thing that I think is really funny. It doesn't bother me at all, but I do think it's kind of funny. This Y, if you can tell, I pieced that together. I think I wanted to write this yes, but I didn't have a Y, and so I just cut it up. So I thought that was kind of funny that I made a Y that way. Let's see, some inserts, got some letters, another 12 of 12. Definitely a favorite project of mine. I don't have the journaling here. I know it's on my blog, so I just need to add that in. And then a Valentine from my children as well. All right, moving on. So I thought this was a lot of fun too. This stamp, this Currently stamp, came from the Allie Edwards story kit. This was from her prompt, this very first story kit. And I thought it was a great way to, you know, you can see on the top, I've got each of my kids' names. So this is currently what was going on with her, with Tess, and with Bella. So I thought that that was a great way to just tell what was going on in their life, kind of give an update. I should maybe do something like this again, because this was just about a year ago that I did this. So it would be fun to see, you know, kind of what's going on a year from now as well. So you can see that I've, you know, started changing this up and not just doing a photo every time. So this is something I do a lot. You've seen me do this in my process videos as of late, just adding some journal right onto cardstock and just adding that to the photo. This was my birthday week, and so I always think it's a lot of fun to work on this week. This, I did some journaling and I just split it up into 2, and then I added the washi tape so you could tell that it was supposed to go from one to the next. So I you know, just wrote down a list of things, 40 things about me. And then in this pocket right here, I've got some cards that I received from friends. So I thought that I would just save it there. And yeah, so that's probably it for that. Again, I've got another insert. This was the week of my husband's birthday. So sometimes there tends to be more pictures with a birthday, so I tend to always do an insert. I don't think I did it this year. Maybe not enough photos or something, I'm not sure. I did another schedule. The same thing, adding some journaling and a little star, a little embellishment there. You can see that I'm adding a little bit more embellishments, doing an insert as well, just because I probably took a ton of photos, and another 12 of 12. So it looks like this was the week of Suzuki Federation, so have all that information here. I wasn't sure, never know what to do with the comments from the judges, so I just decided to put it right in the album. Something cool that I did, well, not cool, but just FYI, this right here, this was my one little word actually for March. She typically does this prompt in March, and I did this, and then I took a picture of it and just stuck it, you know, then I sized it down to a 3x4 and stuck it in there. So I really liked having that there because, you know, that's something that I was doing and working on at that time. Let's see. Moving on, I thought this was kind of funny. I had to leave the grocery store, and they put this note on my cart because to show like someone's gonna come back. I think it was at Costco. And anyway, so I kept that note and I just stuck it in there. I could have thrown it away because I have a picture of it, but I just stuck it in. Something I could always remove. This was my daughter's 16th birthday, so of course gotta have an insert, right? I've got more photos. And then I did more letter stickers. This is one of the weeks that I did a lot of stamping right on to the photo. This is when we were away for spring break. Definitely looking forward to getting away this year. Just a little note that I included there. Some movie stubs. All right, let's see, moving on. This is one thing that I was kind of bummed about that I noticed. I remember specifically when I put that in, I didn't write the conversation because I wanted my daughter to write it. I can remember I wanted Megan to write something down here with her own handwriting of what she had been saying, but I obviously forgot, and I didn't even write a post-it note of what the conversation was, so I'm bummed about that I don't have that down, but you know, I'll live. So this is one of the few times that I did, all right, so you can see just a little bit of embellishments. I've used these before. I really do like those embellishments. So just little bits and pieces, just to try and help tell the story. And again, another 12 of 12. And with the journaling on the back. So this is a note. Just going to include it in here because I don't know where else to put it. I don't want to lose it. Using more chipboards. I think I really like the chipboards a lot. I think what I'm realizing when I look through this is I really do love when there's, you know, things that are similar to connect them together. But it doesn't bother me, I'm trying to look back, it doesn't bother me when there's not very many embellishments at all. I'm not bothered by that. I really just love having the story told. So I think to me that's the most important thing. I love these puffy stickers. I hope that they do something like that again. So this was a see-through, and I can't even remember where this came from, if this came from like a Studio Calico kit or what. Thought that was a lot of fun. This was the same thing, but it was just a circle, so I put it right on that card. This was also the same. It must have come in a kit. It must have come in a kit. Let's see. And I thought this was kind of funny. Like, this is sitting in here and I don't even know why. I don't even know why. The journaling's not even about like time. It's about relaxation. I just wanted to point out, see that I do that, you know, a bunch. I've done that a bunch of times. More, this is Mother's Day, so more cards. This is also a time that my husband and I were out of town. I really liked this card. I should probably make a card like this myself. Just getting a little bit of the schedule from our trip I really like, because most of the time we were at the beach, riding bikes, you know, pool. So just little tidbits of our trip. And then just more photos there. So this was actually the week in the life that Allie did in 2016. And I actually have a process video of this week coming up. So I will show you how I made this spread actually coming up soon. It'll probably be live right around the time this is live as well. A lot of these cards came from either from the Week in the Life kit. This card I made, but I'll show you that in that video. I really love this card. I'll have to do something like that again, just being able to show the week that way. Keeping stubs from my flights. I was out of town this week. Again, you can see there's just not a whole lot. I mean, there are a little bit of embellishments, but not a whole lot. And I love that. I don't need to have a ton of stuff. Just more stories. I loved how both of those were see-through pockets, just for me to be able to get more photos in. This was the last week of school. You gotta love those circle stamps, messy circle stamps. I love it when a card like this, you can use both sides. I really liked that card. So I like that I was able to get 2 uses out of them as well. This is an invitation that my husband did that was for a movie in the park. And just some, you know, a lot more summer pictures. I have other albums with a lot of these notes in here that, you know, this was Megan's haircut. So I need to go back and see if I have a photo of her from when she got her haircut so I can stick it in there. Let's see, this was an indication of an album I finished for my dad. This was a genealogy album that I finally got done. There's the picture of it there as well. Another 12 of 12. I really do love this project. And I think this is the last week. Yep, this is the last week of the album. And this from June, so I don't know, I must have, maybe there was a vacation or something. I'm like, I wonder why I didn't go all the way through June, or maybe it just wasn't fitting. But anyway, that is the first album. So I will go and get the second one. All right, you guys, so this is the beginning of my second album. I sort of feel like if you've seen one, you've seen them all. So I apologize if you're like, yeah, this is kind of the same thing over and over again, but I definitely work the same way, and I definitely have a formula, which is lots of photos and just telling our weekly story. This is a week card that I made myself. I have those stamps. These stamps, they look a little wonky. You may or may not be able to tell. They actually are in an arc. I was trying to straighten them out. It didn't work all that well, but I still decided to go ahead and use it. So these are just a lot of summer photos. So you know what's so fun about these metal embellishments? I bought these years ago. These are for making memories. I think I still have a bunch. I'll have to pull those out and use them again, because why not? Because I still have them. Let's see. So I really liked these embellishments. You can see they were kind of, you know, loving, and I wrote about what we were loving or watching, reading. I wrote a list of all the things, the book that everyone was reading this month. This is another 12 of 12. And then I continued on with doing, making, and trying. I thought that that was a lot of fun, just to have a uniform journaling all the way across. And this is one big panorama photo that I decided to fit into 2 pockets there. This is a letter actually from the hospital. I went and I got a mammogram, and they sent a letter back that said I'm A-okay as of now, or as of July of last year. So we'll have to do that again. Hopefully it's the same. These are some notes from my daughter's friends that I decided to include. Also a birthday card. And then just some information about what was going on with her and other parts of our week. Like you said, like I said, you can tell that I definitely gravitate towards certain embellishments and doing very similar things. I just right on the computer put the date there, and you can see that I did the same thing there as well. Using some stamps to make my journaling cards. I definitely like doing that, but I definitely like it. This is also a journaling card that I made, but I do like the journaling cards that come with the kit because I think they're story sparks and they help you to tell stories that you wouldn't normally go ahead and tell. So as you can see, I'm pretty light on my embellishments, but you've noticed that from just watching my videos. This is the week my, well, first I'll tell you, so this photo, this is something my daughter drew, and then I had actually scanned it in my computer. I think it's because it was a lot bigger. It was like this big, and I scanned it in and I printed it out. And so that's why it looks like it came from the computer, because I definitely printed that out. So this was the week of my niece's wedding. I put the details of what we did this weekend. We were up in Seattle and just photo heavy. I really love, you know, just being able to share all the photos. That's kind of my main thing, the photos. I apologize for these cards. I put them there to cover some things up. A big photo. I use this photo in my week in the life. So I decided to just add it there as well. Did some stamping, some multiple stamping. That's something I would love to do again as well. Another insert. I have a lot of photos that sometimes I won't, I'll just go ahead and not use the photos, and sometimes I want to share them. So it's around this time, maybe, I think this one as well, maybe this one, I can't remember, you guys, but you'll know it. You can go back and look at my project, my process videos from 2016. I believe I started, this is when I started sharing, I can't remember if I did the wedding, but I definitely started doing more process videos around this time. I definitely remember this one was in there. It's another schedule. So yeah, these are all, if you would like to see these, you know, the last few more in depth, you can go ahead and watch my process video and you can see how I put this together. Here's another 12 of 12. So I remember this is a September kit, and I really liked this kit. This is very interesting. Now I'm looking at this. Now it's been several months. This is coming off. So I'm going to have to restamp that, or maybe, you know, put it on a label or something like that, because that's really hard to see. So it must have rubbed off or something like that. I really enjoy including the weather, especially when it's odd for that time of year. So I'm going to kind of blow through these, and that's because I know if you want to see more, I definitely have process videos of this. I definitely want to do more stamping on photos though. And I don't know if I showed this in the video. Maybe I did. This was just some art that my daughter did by, you know, putting paint on leaves and then sticking them on there. More photos, more stories. Another 12 of 12. It's interesting to see how often this comes up, and it feels like that during the year of how often the 12 of 12 comes up. I feel like it makes the year go a little bit faster for me. This is actually a page protector that I made but it is just like the Design K. So you could buy Design K. I didn't have them and I wanted to use it. I think they're really hard to find. I'm not sure if she's making them anymore. I tried to link to it and I think that they were like $30 and I was like, oh my gosh. So I don't know if they're readily available anymore, but I decided to make my own. And I do have a video on my YouTube channel if you're interested in learning how to use the Fuse tool to make your own page protector, but you could do any size you want. This is from one of our vacations and I really love, like I said before, really photo heavy. I really enjoy that. Just being able to see all the photos and getting a little bit of the journaling there and also there. And this is a great journaling card from Allie Edwards from one of her kits. I always include the pictures from Halloween. I've been doing this for years. Before, some of them had black backgrounds, but I've been doing this for years where I've been highlighting or taking pictures of their costumes that way. I don't know how long it's going to last. She's going to be a senior next year on Halloween, so I don't know if she'll dress up. I'm just not sure. This was the week we were in Amsterdam, and I've shown you this. This is also, you can check this out. This is a great indication of how I deal with my traveling. You can go ahead and watch that video if you haven't seen it yet, but each of these hashtags are corresponded here in the journaling. So I can go to one and I can see, oh, that's where our hotel was. So I liked having this, especially because over time you'll totally forget, and if you want to go back, it might be fun to remember this is, you know, where your favorite hamburger place was or whatever it was. And this is just a little more bits and pieces, tickets, things like that from our trip. And then I did include, this is how I included information about the US election that was in November. Really happy to be out of town for that one. And the bank, or not the bank, but the bus or the tram pass included there. And then this is when we were in Iceland. So just more photos there, another 12 of 12. This is actually, I put this doesn't belong, but this is a schedule that I made for my kids. I didn't want you guys to see all that information, but this is a schedule I made for when my mother-in-law came. So I wanted to keep it because I think that tells a really great story of what their week was like when we were gone. You can see when I lifted that up, there was a lot of notes and things about, you know, from that week as well. Then let's see, this more from that week, and then coming home, I loved getting that picture of the American flag there. And of course we came home to snow, which I thought this is one of the first snowstorms of the year. Totally typical. Now we are getting into, you know, Thanksgiving, which is more Christmas, and this is when I used a lot more of my December daily supplies. And again, these are all videos, or these are all spreads that you can see in process videos. If you haven't seen them, go ahead and check those out if you are interested. You can just go to my Project Life process. Let's see, the playlist. I don't think it says for 2016, it just says the process videos, but that's where my 2016 photos are. I loved including, this came from Elise Joy, her Get to Work book, when I got that in the mail. Oh, another thing I included, and I don't know if I said that in the video, but this was a list. This was a Christmas list that my daughter made. So I just thought that was funny. She really wanted a cactus and she got one. And it's doing really well. It's like growing. It's awesome. She's really excited. This is our actual card. So these are the photos I took for our Christmas card. It's totally on a whim. I don't even know how that happened. And then this was the actual Christmas card. And a lot of these photos I used for my December daily as well, but you can see how I incorporated them in December daily. Or excuse me. Did I say that right? A lot of these photos I used in December daily, but this is how I incorporated all of December, you know, in my project life. Another 12 of 12. This is a pocket that holds, and I saw that it's ripped here. I'm gonna have to reinforce that. I have a lot of extra photos that didn't get in either December daily or into my album. All right, you guys, I am sorry that my album cut off. I just wanted to let you know right there, that last page that was inspired by Ali Edwards. She did something very similar with her review kit. And so I thought that that would be a great way to end the video. And then that envelope that I included had the stories from my storybook that I just put at the back of the album so that I would have it with me as well. If you don't know what I'm talking about and would be interested in learning more about my story journal, I have a video on my YouTube channel and I will link below so that you can watch that video. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video in its entirety. I know that it was a little bit longer of a one, so I totally appreciate you being here. I really hope that you enjoyed being able to see the entire album. So most of the spreads at the end of this album have a process video that go along with them. So if you'd like to see more, definitely check it out. I will have it linked at the end of this video and also linked below in the description. Thank you guys so much for being here and for subscribing to my channel. And I really appreciate all the love that you guys are giving me through the comments. It means a lot. All right, you guys, we will catch you in the next video. Bye.